If you want to put some money on it, and why not? I mean, it's more fun that way. Life is more fun when we're betting. Sportsline has released the odds for teams that could potentially land Damian Lillard. Now, Dame currently busy with Team USA in Tokyo for the Olympics. But of course, this will be waiting for him when he gets back. Now, our Avery Johnson dead set that Dame will not be with the Blazers next season. So where could he go? All right, here are the odds from Sportsline. At the very top, you get the Knicks, the 76ers, plus 250, followed by the Heat. I know some people in our newsroom, we're here in South Florida, would love that. Warriors, Lakers, Clippers, Mavs, Celtics, and Raptors. All right, let's welcome in our good friend, NBA insider and writer, Bill Reiter. Bill, we're going to play the Wheel of Dame. It is our favorite game show. We have producer Jack, although maybe it's somebody else. I'm sure he'll tell me in my ear in a second. They're going to spin the wheel. It's going to land on our team, and you're going to give us your thoughts. All right, so let's spin the wheel. The music is very catchy, so if you find yourself humming this later, it is okay. All right, so it lands on the Knicks. Sportsline giving them the best odds at plus 250. So two things here, Bill. What's the chances that he could actually end up with the Knicks? And then if he does, how do you like that?
It does seem a little too good to be true for Knicks fans who are accustomed to a lifetime of disappointment. But if you put Lillard on any team, they're going to be markedly better. If you put Lillard on this Knicks team, they're going to be an instant contender. So I understand the fit, and I understand that New York City and the Knicks in particular, what we've seen from Tom Thibodeau, have become a desirable location for stars for the first time in a long time. It's just, Amanda, hard to see what they can actually send in return. They've got some, late first-round draft picks, I think 19 and 21 in this draft. Even those two picks, R.J. Barrett and Obi Toppin, it just isn't enough for me, and I don't think it'd be enough for Neil O'Shea, the GM of the Portland Trailblazers, who's trying to keep his job. So I could see a situation where Lillard would want to go here. I just don't know, given the fact he's got 4 years and $44 million a year left on his deal, whether he could leverage Portland to send him to a place like New York, but there's just not enough in return.
All right, it is time to spin the wheel yet again. I don't know if Damian Lillard knows we played this game. Maybe while he's in Tokyo, he's going to watch it here. It's very entertaining. Let's spin the wheel. The Philadelphia 76ers. We played this game with Avery. He was very hot over this. He loved it here. I'm not sure if Ben Simmons would be a part of this. A lot of people like the idea of Dame teaming up with Joel Embiid. What do you think there?
Yeah, I think it's an incredible fit, and I think it's a likely outcome if Lillard does go somewhere else. Ben Simmons is not universally held in high regard around the NBA, but he's far from thought to be disaster by everyone. There's really split opinions on him. He's incredibly young. He might be the best perimeter defender in the NBA. Obviously, Amanda, the guy's got to work on his offensive skills. But that's a really important piece in a trade if Portland were interested, evaluated him at a high level, or just part of a three-way trade. And certainly the Sixers would be a very highly coveted destination for Lillard. You put him with Embiid, I think they're automatically the second best team, if not the best team in the Eastern Conference. Doc Rivers gets along with players. Daryl Morey, the president of operations on the basketball side, is well respected. This makes a lot of sense.
All right, it is time to spin the wheel yet again. The Wheel of Dame here, talking about teams where he could potentially land. Go ahead, producer Jack, spin the wheel. Bill, have you ever wanted to be a game show host?
Yeah.
I don't think you heard me. Okay, let's go to the Warriors here. I have to say, I put this out on social media a couple weeks ago, and people were outraged. More than any team, they did not want to see this happen here. So the Warriors, they have 2 lottery picks. But what would they give up to get him?
I'm with you, and I'm thinking about putting a little bit of money down on the Warriors. I think they're 4-1. I think it's a fit that makes a lot of sense for a few reasons. One, Dame is from the Bay Area and feels a ton of loyalty to that part of the country. It's the reason he wanted Jason Kidd to be his head coach. I think Bob Myers is under more pressure than people realize to try and build something around Steph Curry before Steph's window closes. There's certainly been chatter the last few years that if a superstar came along, that organization might be able to move on from anybody not named Steph and Clay, including Draymond Green. James Wiseman is highly valued by some of the people around the NBA. You've got that, I think, 7th and 14th pick in this draft. If you're willing to move Draymond, there are some pieces that you could actually send out there. And this is an ambitious organization. It's a place Lillard would want to go. I like it, Amanda. I like what you sent out on social media, and all those folks who got mad at you should take that energy and direct it towards some gambling. I think Golden State's got some value in terms of the possibility Dame could end up there.
They did. They got so mad. But like you said, put some money on it. Plus 400 right now. Not too shabby. All right, let's see the next odds. Let's spin the wheel yet again. Oh, the Lakers plus 500, so not too bad there either. Maybe some value. We know LeBron and Dame have been hanging out the past couple of weeks. They've gone to some WNBA games together. So what do you think about him to the Lakers? But also, is there a potential you would have to get maybe like a third team involved here?
Yeah, you certainly would. It makes sense if Damian Lillard had the leverage to force what he wants. I don't think he does. Certainly, LeBron has made no secret the last few weeks, as you've referenced, and really behind the scenes the last couple of years, that he wants to play with Damian Lillard. I just don't see what the Lakers are able to give up to make this trade happen. I don't think Kyle Kuzma, with all respect to Kuz, is a highly valued guy. You're not going to move on from Anthony Davis. That's not a realistic situation. So while I know that people in LA want it to be the Lakers and people in the NBA are aware that Damian Lillard and LeBron James want to play together, this is of all the teams that are on the list of odds and that are realistic, Amanda, I think it's the team that has the least to offer, the least to give. And this isn't going to be a James Harden situation where you can force your way out and not get a lot in return. He's got Lillard 4 years left on that deal, all the leverages with Portland. GMs around the NBA watch what happened with Houston and the fact they didn't get enough in return, how that could be problematic for that GM, Rafael Stone. I think the Lakers are going to make a push. I just don't think they have the assets to go get him.
All right, a little skeptical there. Maybe still put your money on the Warriors, plus 400. We get one more spin. We're going to make it a big one. I'm going to pretend I have a little wheel here.
I hope you don't get the same one twice.
No. I think we cheated. I think we threw this in there. All right, does he stay with the Blazers? You know, it's our game show. We can rig it if we want. The potential he stays with the Blazers. He doesn't leave. What do you think about this, Bill?
Just want you guys to throw the Kings on there to make Avery have to figure out what to say about the poor Sacramento Kings. I actually think Portland's an outcome that's possible. I don't think it's likely. We heard his comments. He said he hadn't made up his mind. Then he went on to explain why it sounds like he's made up his mind, that they're not a contender. But this is a different situation in Portland. It is by far the hardest market in the country to recruit free agents to. They're not going to be able to land a person like Damian Lillard ever in free agency. It is very difficult to land a guy like this in the draft. And this is an organization with Neil O'Shea that understands that they can't get the return they need. They're going to stand pat. I think it could be ugly, but I think the fact Lillard's a pretty loyal guy, probably will try to request a trade, but I don't know would go to the same length as James Harden to force his way out. I can't see Lillard putting on 15 pounds from donuts and not really trying in games. I think at least creates the opportunity he could still be in Portland when the season starts.
How good is the Iowa State Fair there, Bill? I feel like you spin wheels at the Iowa State Fair.
You got the fried Oreo, you got the butter cow. I once, for the Des Moines Register, went on a mullet hunt for a day, and it was a plethora of mullet. The Iowa State Fair is a magical, magical place.
Yeah,
don't hate on the.
You open your eyes and you see the mullets.
It was not a hard day at work.
You'll see dudes with lower back tattoos as well.
Oh my God! I don't know how I ended up with two people from Iowa next to me right now, or one on the screen. Bill, thanks so much there for your insight into Dame, where he could potentially go. All right, so Dame, taking a look here at his career with the Blazers when it comes to franchise ranks, they're pretty incredible. I mean, he's drafted almost 10 years ago now, back in 2012, 6th overall. He's been with the Blazers his entire career, Rookie of the Year 2013, 6-time All-Star, but of course he would like to also be an NBA champion.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.